but it's also key to explain and clarify what things mean, because sometimes people will have a definition of a word, or the way that they're using the word isn't the actual definition. So, for example, we see a lot of people go, "Oh, go woke, go broke." That's not what the word woke means. Woke is not a negative thing. People are
What does
misusing the
woke mean?
definition
Like if
because they never knew the actual or original definition.
clarify in your through your lens and with using your words, how would you, if someone had a negative view on the definition of woke or what woke means, how would you define it to them to give it a more positive spin, or what are they getting wrong that you'd like to clarify and get right?
Woke is slang that originated in the urban community around the year 1999 when the movie The Matrix came out. All of those people that were sleepwalking, that were actually in those pods, they were actually asleep. And in order to see the real world, you had to be woken up. You got to be woke. And so the slang terminology comes from, "Oh, he's sleep. You sleep out here. You sleepwalking. I'm woke." Woke meaning someone that is paying attention and knows the difference between what is real and what's propaganda. And over time, so many people start to point out so many things that we're being bombarded with that are actually horrible. When you start talking about health and fitness, finance, the central banking system, you start to see these systems, the practice of gun control, being put there, and you might believe that this thing is good for you. Yeah. Central banks are good. No, they're not. Gun control makes us safer. No, it doesn't. You think that something is good for you that's not, because you've been fed a dream in your sleepwalking state. So when you woke, you're paying attention to what the realities are. So over time, when people started calling out so many things that were corrupt systems, then people started to make fun of that person, go, "I guess you woke. I guess you extra woke." And then it starts to turn into something else. A different example of that is, I get called this a lot, right? Not to my face, because people just do things on the internet that they wouldn't dare do to me in real life. They'll say, "Oh, you're an Uncle Tom," right? Because I'm right of center. I'm pro-gun. I'm about liberty. I'm about freedom and all of that. But they never read the book. In the book, Uncle Tom is the person that did not sell out. He did not do what the master told him to do. And so because of that, that slang started to become, in real life, it started to become, "Oh, you're not doing what I want you to do. I guess you were Uncle Tom," meaning rebellion to what the person told them to do. So somehow over time, it got started turning into you selling out by you being an Uncle Tom. The
Which is
proper slur
the
for
complete
people
opposite
that
of,
read the actual book is, you would call somebody that was doing exactly what massa, because that's how they're trying to package it. You would call somebody that's doing exactly what massa told you to do, selling out your people. The people that did that was Sambo and Kiambo in the book, but they didn't read the book, so they don't know.
so they don't know.
So woke is along those same lines. And usually when I'm having this discussion, I'll say, like the Cracker Barrel logo, everybody's up in arms about that. And I'll say, "Hey, what do you guys actually think is fake woke about the Cracker Barrel logo?" And when I say fake woke, it opens the conversation up to, what do you mean fake woke? And then you can kind of, give them a little bit of jewels in that space, just for people that want to listen.
So it sounds to me like you're not just criticizing people who would describe themselves as anti-woke or don't like the term woke or whatever, have a negative view of woke. It sounds like you're also criticizing people who would describe themselves as woke or would embrace woke culture because they're not actually woke, or maybe they've corrupted what the original intent of woke is. Am I
Yeah.
right on that?
Yeah. The person is not, you're repeating a word that you don't even know the origin of, which is why the system and the government and the state usually takes advantage of you. So in the Black community, right, you might hear people saying, "Yo, when they wrote the Constitution, they didn't mean us." Okay, cool. But you didn't read the Constitution, and you don't know that race and slavery isn't mentioned in the Constitution at all, right? When people are like, "Yeah, they called us 3/5 of a human," that means you haven't done a modicum of research on what 3/5 clause actually meant. And this does not mean that the founders that were in alignment with captivity were right. I'm not saying that. Because there are men that had blatant contradictions, right? But at the same time, you're referencing or utilizing terms that you don't even know the origins of the source material. So you just kind of bandwagon riding. It's a dangerous thing, because then the state and their fourth unofficial arm, the media arm, can easily trick you, because you don't do the bare minimum to get empowered and get informed about a topic.